it's Jackie from the Marengo-Union Library, here to show you how to do our August craft with the adults. We're going to be making a beach wine glass scene. So in your kit, you're going to be getting a wine glass, some seashells and some gems. We use these kind of for our mushroom crafts. If you have any left from the mushroom craft, you'll be getting a bag of sand, and you'll be getting some twine and written instructions. Okay, so first you're going to want to do is decide if you want your sand to be blue or just keep it the white sand. I'm going to use blue sand just because I thought that might be pretty. So I'm taking my white sand, putting it into a jar, and adding some food coloring. If you do this step, you may want to let the sand dry for a little bit. Just kind of put it out maybe on a paper towel or parchment paper covered cookie sheet, okay? Because remember, we learned from our another craft that it's easier if you have it, like for the rice craft, it was easier to spread out the rice to dry on a cookie sheet on top of a piece of parchment paper, because then you just pick it up and then just pour it in. I took that, so okay. So there we go. Okay, so I made some blue sand because I thought that might be pretty, but you don't have to do that if you don't want to. Okay, so the next thing to do is you're going to take your wine glass and you're going to cover the stem of the wine glass with a twine. And you're going to need a hot glue gun to do that. So I'm going to take my twine and I'm going to wrap it around the stem of my wine glass. Okay. I've already finished that step in my sample, so I will show that to you in a minute. All right, oops, there we go. Okay, and then I'm just going to take a dab of glue at the top of my twine at the bottom, or wherever I need to, just to make sure that it's tight on there, okay? So after I've done that, okay, I've got my twine on here. I'm going to take my piece of cardboard and I'm going to trace the circle of the lip of the glass. And then I'm going to cut that out. Now, you don't want to glue that in yet, but you just kind of want to do things in steps so that you're ready. Because it makes a big difference in what order you do all these steps for this craft. Okay, so let's make sure that's going to fit there. Yes, it will fit there. Okay, so I've got that ready for when I need it. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the twine around the lip of my glass. And the reason we're doing all this ahead of time is because if we put the sand and the shells in there beforehand and we're shaking this around a lot, it's going to shake our design. So we want to kind of do that last, add the sand and glue it on last. So I'm going to take the twine, got another piece of twine here, and I'm going to put that around the lip of my glass and then kind of glue as you go. This is a little bit tricky, and you can decide whether or not you want like 2 wraps around or 3. Actually, this shows 6, but that's because I already went ahead and put the 3 on there ahead of time for you, just so you could see what it looked like, okay? Okay, so I've got the twine on the bottom, on the stem, and I've got the twine around the lip of the glass. So the next thing I want to do is I want to put my shells in first, and my gems, carefully, because these little starfish are quite fragile. So I probably want to put maybe these beads in first, these gems. If you want to, you can even color your seashells if you want to paint them ahead of time and allow them to dry. You could do that too. But since I'm using blue sand, I'm not going to paint my shells. Okay, so I've got the seashells maybe about up to there. And now I'm going to pour my sand in there. Okay. So as you can see, the sand is maybe about halfway up the wine glass, but you can't really see the shells, can you? But don't worry, they're still there. Okay, then you're going to take your cardboard and you're going to glue that on to the top or the lip of your wine glass. So I'm just putting some hot glue around the edge. Okay, now I'm going to put that on there. Okay, so now it's on there. And I'm just going to kind of go around the edge again just to make sure that it's on secure. All right. Now I'm wondering whether or not if you wanted to, you could put another piece of twine just around the very edge there if you wanted to, just to kind of cover up the edge of your cardboard. Okay, so I'll give you extra twine if you want to do that, all right? Okay. Okay, all right. So I'm going to gently shake my glass. So hopefully my shells kind of settle at the top. It's kind of like a snuggle up effect. You try to get everything to kind of get to the top. Let's see here. Kind of looks fun. I mean, just looks very exciting. I would love to just be walking at the beach right now. All right, so can you see how that looks there? Okay. I'm also going to include some ribbon in there if you want. You can take a piece of ribbon. You can tie it on there at the bottom or wherever you want. You can also, if you want, get another shell here. If you want to take a shell, you can also glue a shell if you want just to the edge here. Let's see here. Okay, I'm going to take the ribbon here. Let's see what we can do with this together. Okay. All right, so if I wanted to, I could take some ribbon, tie those, it looks like anchors around that ribbon. You know, just kind of use your imagination. You may not need the ribbon, but it's there if you want to. Yeah, I'm not sure what exactly I want to do with that ribbon. So, or I suppose you could even put it at the bottom too if you wanted to. I didn't think about that, except you want to make sure that you're not covering up your sand and your shells. So maybe kind of plan that out ahead of time. Maybe I've got 4 layers of twine here. Maybe you only want to do 2, and then save your piece of ribbon for the bottom. And all right, there's just different possibilities, okay? And I want you to use your creativity as always, and I want you to enjoy yourself, okay? And just picture yourself. Close your eyes and just picture yourself walking in this nice hot sand, and how the sand just kind of goes up through your toes, and it's a good way too, like exfoliant too for our heels, isn't it? So, all right, I'm just talking too much. All right, enough of the craft for today, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks for another craft. All right, thanks so much for joining me. Bye.